Could you imagine a storybook land attraction where you can control the boat? Well, you could in the earlier days of Disneyland. Let's talk about it. A little after the park's opening, Disney opened a new attraction on July 20th, 1955. It was called the Tommorrowland Boats. This attraction had many mechanical issues, such as leaving park guests stranded in the lagoon. Due to many mechanical issues, this attraction closed after about a month of being open, and reopened on August 16, 1955. These newly designed boats featured tail fins made of fiberglass, designed by Bruce Bushman. The ride vehicles were also renamed to Phantom Boats. To prevent overheating, the boats were air-cooled-ish. The engines were located in the back. The problem? The engine compartment was enclosed, which gave no room for the engine to be air-cooled, or to cool down at all. Eventually, the compartment lids were removed, allowing for the engines to be ventilated. Even though that problem was solved, Disney still had to deal with the boat engines getting over-revved, which added wear and tear to the engine, which also increased the engine's heat. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell by now, but these boats were poorly designed. Eventually, the boats were quote-unquote improved by allowing a cast member to ride with the guests to provide aid when the engine would overheat or break down. This attraction had 14 Phantom boats. This meant this attraction would need to be staffed by 14 cast members. The 14 cast members weren't even including the loading zone workers. The attraction's breakdowns were not resolved, which resulted in the ride closure at the end of 1955. The end? Nah, I'm just joking, but it did close at the end of 1955. During this time, Imagineers took inspiration from fan boats. They had built a test vehicle to try this new concept, but surprise, surprise, they found many issues with it. I know what you're thinking. What? How can these new boats have any more issues than the original design? Anyways, by 1956, the Phantom boats returned to Tommorrowland along with their mechanical issues unresolved. By the end of the year, Walt was done with the ride's issues and had Joe Fowler and a team redesign a better boat. Fowler had asked Bob Gurr to design a drive system with the propeller at the front of the boat, which would pull the boat instead of pushing. Fowler also wanted the ride vehicles to resemble the modern-day speedboats. Autopia and the Tommorrowland boats waved goodbye as the Tommorrowland boats were relocated a few feet over. In 1957, the attraction opened up once again as the Motorboat Cruise. For a more consistent ride duration, the boats were placed on a track similar to the one from Pirates of the Caribbean, except the rails were placed farther apart to allow guests to feel like they were more in control of the boats. Now let me ask you this. This feature had what? You guessed it, major problems. Due to the design of the boat and the track, some riders would unwillingly drive on the side of the railing. Guests from behind, unknowing of the track underneath, would try to go around, but would end up getting wedged because the track was not wide enough for two ride vehicles, or Phantom boats. Cast members would have to go into the water and assist the guests. According to cast members, there were no rubber waders, so cast members would have to get their uniform wet. With all that being said, the location made this attraction quite popular because of the views of Autopia and the Viewliner train. In 1959, Disney went under its most extensive expansion since the park opened, which at the time was only like 4 years ago. The Viewliner train was removed and replaced with the new, well, I guess at the time, the new monorail system. The Motorboat Cruise attraction was rerouted and allowed for double its capacity because they created two different tracks. I don't know what happened there, but the video audio thing cut out, so two different tracks. Anyways, carry on. Along with a new loading dock with automated gates to stop the boats. To prevent the boats from getting stuck, a new track system was installed, similar to the track at It's a Small World. To prevent any unnecessary wear on the engine, the propeller was placed at the stern or back of the boat, which would spin at a constant speed. This attraction continued for 3 decades unchanged until 1990, when the attraction could not keep up with the other new attractions. Disney decided to retheme the attraction after the adventures of the Gummy Bear cartoon and changed the name to Motorboat Cruise to Gummy Bear Glen in order to appeal to a younger audience. This so-called retheme consisted of plywood cutouts which were painted to the characters from the show. The maintenance budget declined along with a few other attractions in order to create Toontown. Due to the anticipation of this new land, Disney decided to close the attraction on January of 1993. Because the removal process would have been too costly, some minor disassembly of the boats and loading dock were done in order to turn the loading zone and the surrounding pond into Fantasia Gardens. The eastern side of the pond was reduced in size in 1997 for a new tiered viewing area for a new parade called Light Magic. Although that parade is not here anymore, this tiered viewing area can still be seen. In the early 2000s, the Fantasia Gardens Motorboat Cruise loading zone area was used as a smoking area. I don't think it's a smoking area anymore, but don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. Here's a little fun fact. The water used in the pond is fresh water, which also connects to many of the other ponds in Disneyland. Now, this area is still here as of today, currently. It will most likely be used for future expansions of either Tommorrowland and or Fantasyland. What do you think of the Motorboat Cruise? Would you like it to come back? Have you ridden it? What are your opinions on this? I want to know. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have a great day, night, afternoon, or evening whenever you are watching this, and I will see you later.